Go ahead and fire up this YS640S. We're knocking it down to 250 degrees. Time to get it on. Hey guys, Smitty here with Just Piddlin Barbecue. In today's video, we're going to do a low and slow cook on the YS640S pellet smoker. It's the first low and slow cook that I've done on it. Normally I usually do a pork butt when I get a new grill, just because that's what I like to do. But this thing came with so many other accessories. I really wanted to try that wood-fired oven, and so we kind of got into that for a little while first. We actually did 2 more pizzas last night and they were amazing. But now I want to do a low and slow cook on this Yoder Smokers YS640 and see how it's going to do. I'm really excited about this cook. Today we've got a picnic shoulder, not a pork butt. Normally I do pork butts, but we found this picnic shoulder on sale for $1.99 at Publix, and I thought, why not? Let's do it. That'll be perfect for the first low and slow cook. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be running at 250 degrees on the YS640 using apple and hickory pellets. We're going to have kind of an apple theme today, apple and kind of a honey theme today. In this little pot right here, I've also got 50-50 water and some Old Smoky apple pie moonshine. We're going to put that on there to add a little bit of moisture into the environment, maybe a little bit of flavor too, who knows. But I think it's pretty cool just to do it anyway. So now let's get this picnic seasoned up. We're going to be using Meat Church the Gospel today. We're also going to be using Butcher Barbecue, their honey rub. We're going to go on with the honey rub first, and then we'll go on with the Gospel after that. It's going to add some really good color to it and all that. Now, one thing about the picnic shoulder, it's different from a pork butt in that it is lower on the hog than the pork butt, which sounds kind of weird, but it's also weird that the pork butt is actually in the front. But I guess there's a lot of human beings walking around with their butts in the front too, so it is what it is. So, but this picnic has the skin on it, as you can see here, and I'm gonna turn it over and show you that side first. So this whole side right here covered with skin. So how are we gonna address that? Well, I've got a bamboo skewer here with a pretty decent point on it. I'm going to poke some holes in this just to kind of help that fat underneath the skin render out through those holes. And so I'll bring you back after I get these holes punched in it. Alright, so now we've got the holes punched in it. I'm going to change gloves because I already touched it. I don't want to contaminate my rubs. By the way, these gloves, Venom Steel gloves, these are my favorite gloves for barbecuing. These are all in my Amazon affiliate store. There'll be a link in the description box. Click on that, and it basically a list of everything that I use. If you want to check that out, you can. So first we're going to do the Butcher Barbecue honey rub. And I am going to season the skin too, just because I can't bring myself not to season both sides of anything, so that's what we're going to do. We're even going to get this shank area down here, get that covered really well, and then go back over it with the Meat Church, the Gospel. Get some nice color on it. Now with the fireboard controller, we're going to utilize it a lot today because we have a lot of other stuff that we need to get done today. We've got to take some stuff off to the landfill, and we've got some stuff I want to do in the yard, stuff I want to do with the pool. So we're going to be watching everything through that fireboard app while we're getting this cook done. All right, now we come to the meat side. Now it really doesn't matter about seasoning the skin much, but I seasoned the back side of it, so I'm going to season this side too. You just don't want to get that to where it's going to burn. Butcher Barbecue honey rub first. Now some people don't bother seasoning the skin at all. Some people say don't season the skin. But I've got to season everything. I'm going to have a little bit left in the pan, so rub it and cheat, so get it on there. All right, that looks pretty good. We're gonna let that sweat in just a little bit. The Yoder's up to about 200 degrees. I've got it set at 250. So as soon as it comes up to temperature, we'll get this picnic on. Now once again, I've talked about this before, but this front shelf is awesome. It's extremely sturdy. But the way it is on the grill, as far as the location between the shelf and the handle, now you can see why it's beneficial to have that shelf a little bit lower. This is an 11-pound picnic shoulder, and it's nowhere close to hitting that handle. That's what I like about that shelf. I already got a little pot with our moisture in it. Now we're finna get it on. And I'm gonna turn it to where the largest part is toward the smokestack. And put it right there in the center. All right, now I'm gonna utilize the meat probe that came with the Yoder. Put it right in the center of that picnic shoulder, make sure I'm not hitting any bones. And now we're gonna let it go. I've got the notifications on the Fireboard app set to 165 degrees, and then we're gonna give it a check then. After about an hour or two, I may start spritzing it with a little bit of apple cider vinegar or something, but if I do, I'll let you know about that. Last thing, a quick tip for you guys that own Yoders and may own the wood-fired oven. I see a couple of comments about how they love the wood-fired oven, but it's such a pain to take everything out of your smoker and put the oven in, and then to take it out, put everything back in. I literally cooked 2 pizzas last night, came out here this morning, and within 10 minutes had the pizza oven taken out and everything set up just like it is right now to cook low and slow. 10 minutes. Now, I do have a little cart. I'll show you the cart that I've got. And if you've subscribed to the channel or watched my channel for a while, you've seen this cart in several different configurations. I've had little tailgater grills on it, all kinds of stuff. Well, now I'm utilizing it to keep all of my Yoder accessories on it, or some of them, on this thing. So now, you know, I've got my top shelf and my grill grate brand grill grates on the bottom, and then my pizza oven fits perfect on top. Now I can wheel this out to my grill shed, it's out of the way, and I can do low and slow cooks. If I want to swap everything out, I can do that. That's how I had it last night. I had my heat deflector and all that stuff on this cart, and I had the pizza oven in there. So that might be a solution for you, is getting a little cart like this off of Amazon. I've got those in my Amazon store too, and it's really convenient, really helpful. It's on wheels, you can wheel it around, and it just keeps everything kind of organized. So maybe that'll help you out. All right guys, we've been on about 5 hours now. I have sporadically spritzed using that spritz bottle right there. Mixture of half and half water and the apple pie moonshine. So maybe that'll be pretty good. But now we've got enough color on it. I think it's time to wrap. I want to go ahead and get it wrapped to speed up the cook time so that we're not out here when dark catches us trying to finish this thing up. So now we're fixing to wrap it. I'm gonna wrap it in 2 layers of tin foil, and then I'm gonna place it in a small tin foil pan so that when I unwrap it later on, I can still catch those juices. Probably put them in a separator, separate it, and incorporate those juices back into the meat. So let's get it wrapped up. And right now you can see on this side we've got some separation from the bone. Beautiful. And then underneath, look at that skin. Beautiful color on that as well. Better get it wrapped up before the wind gets us. Now we're going to get it into that pan, and now when we put it back on, once it comes up to temperature, probably 200 degrees or better, I'll start probing it to see if it's probe tender. Then when we open this back up, I can collect those juices in this pan. There we go. Now because I've already wrapped it, I'm probably going to kick it up to about 300 degrees to kind of speed up that process. I'm going to insert that probe as well, that way I can still monitor those temperatures. Again, make sure you're not hitting any kind of bone, because that's going to affect the temperatures. Close it up and let it go. And we're back. Right at 8 hours we've been cooking this pork shoulder, and it is done. We are sitting at about 197 degrees internal temperature. So I went ahead and probed it, and it is absolutely tender. Come a little bit closer and I'll show you. As you can see by the holes, obviously, I have tried it already, but I mean, there's no effort at all. Just slides right in there, so it is done. So we're gonna take it inside. We're gonna probably open up that tin foil a little bit and allow it to rest. In the meantime, I'm going to get those juices, collect those, put them in a separator so we can have those to pour over the meat when we get it pulled apart. And then we're going to do a taste test. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we're going to try to wrap this up. We've got some green beans cooking on the stove. You're going to hear that and some other stuff, but we're real cooking here. As you can tell, we've already tried a little piece and it was absolutely amazing. Look at that right there, just tears apart. Look at the smoke ring. I hope that comes through on the camera. Beautiful. What about the bone? I mean, comes right out. Another bone. We got another bone over here. That's really the arm bone. All this stuff is what you don't have when you do a regular pork butt. But beautiful meat. And then you just look at that big nugget right there. Good grief. Look at that. Beautiful. YS640 did an amazing job today. Steady all the way through. And I like the Fireboard app because it tells you your average temp that you cooked at. You can monitor the meat probe and how well it goes up. Look at that big chunk right there. Now this is my first low and slow cook on the Yoder YS640, but the smoke ring, I mean on this piece, it's all the way up here. On this piece, look at this. Look at that beautiful piece. I mean absolutely beautiful, and I'm fixing to get A little bit of that right there. Cheers. Mmm. Wow. Tender, but tons of flavor. I mean, we use the Butcher Barbecue honey rub, the Gospel, but way down deep in the meat, that is fantastic. I'm gonna get the rest of this pulled apart. We saved the juice, put it in a separator, and then after we let it separate for a few minutes, we're probably gonna drizzle a little bit of that back on top, and then it's gonna be time to eat. If you have a YS640 or any pellet grill or any smoker that you have, give a picnic shoulder a try. You're gonna love it. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and until next time, we'll be piddling. See you guys.